more you try to make her like you, the further she drifts away. Sound familiar? This is not just a warning. This is the truth that millions of men live with every day, without even realizing it. You chase, you text, you take initiative, you show care, hoping for a response. And then, silence. A silence that needs no explanation, no warning, yet leaves a hole in your heart, colder than any rejection. Why is that? Because you forgot the most important thing. Women are not attracted to chasing. They are drawn to something deeper. The presence of a man who doesn't need them. Not needing, yet still choosing them. And that makes them unable to look away. Think of a man who is unhurried. A man who walks slowly through life, no need to impress, no need to shout for attention. He just exists, quietly, steadily, yet every gaze is drawn by that very silence. Women sense it, as if they have a subtle radar to detect who needs them to fill a void, and who is whole but still open-armed if they step in. An attractive man is not the one who speaks the most flowery words. He is the one who doesn't need to say anything, yet in silence, still makes others listen. Because deep down, women don't want to lead. They want to be led to a safe place, a place of stability, a man unmoved by waves of fleeting emotions. You don't have to chase. You just need to stand still and become the center others want to approach. Not with force, but with absolute calm. That is the beginning of an irresistible attraction. You know what? There are millions of men carrying the same pain as you. They were once the most special person to a girl, but then silence came unannounced, cold, soundless, yet more painful than any breakup. You blame yourself. You wonder if you were too careless, too childish, or simply not attractive enough to be kept in her life. You feel like you disappear from her world. You start comparing yourself to other men. You ask yourself, has she found someone new? Am I too predictable? Or does she just want someone who makes her heart race? And then you quietly withdraw with a question never answered. Why am I not enough? But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why doesn't she chase you while you always have to try to keep her? Could it be because you've lost the most attractive thing in a man, self-mastery? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you no longer need anything to complete yourself, everything will naturally come to you." So who are you when you don't need anyone to be loved? What remains when all compliments, hugs, and messages disappear? The answer lies in that silence. This is not a mind game. This is maturity, a process of inner rebirth. Women don't crave desperation. They don't remember those who text nonstop. They don't dream of those always available whenever they call. They crave mystery, depth, and strength, not submission and flattery. They remember men who make them think, men who are not easy to decode, men who don't need to be loved, but make others want to love them madly. A strong man is not one who controls others, but one who is not controlled by others' emotions. Seneca. And this is not an invitation for you to become cold and numb. On the contrary, this is a journey back to your strongest self. A man who lives by his own values, not driven by fear of abandonment. Imagine a man who still meditates every morning, still trains, reads books, lives true to his ideals. Even when the woman he loves is no longer there. He doesn't try to pretend he's okay. He truly is. Not because he doesn't hurt, but because he has learned to transform pain into awareness. She senses that. She begins to see you differently. No longer the one always ready to bend to her emotions, but a man with a world of his own. A world she wants to step into, stay in, and explore. Don't explain your philosophy. Live it. Epictetus. When you stop trying to be chosen, you become the only choice. When you stop chasing, she begins to come closer. When you stop and simply exist, you become impossible to look away from. You don't have to say much. Just live true to your deepest self. Just be silent. To resonate attraction in every breath. And strangely, that's what makes her addicted to being with you.